welcome. I'm Esperanza, and I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Velkommen, I'm Eric, and I'm from Norway.
Marhab, I am Ugolina, and I'm from South Sudan.
Bienvenidos, I'm Yvonne, and I'm from Mexico.
It's our pleasure to be your MCs tonight.
Thank you. We would first like to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on the traditional territories of the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations, also known as the lands of the Lenkuching-speaking peoples.
Pearson College is situated on the traditional lands of the Shianu First Nations.
We are students from over 80 countries, and standing here today, we represent the world. We are of different nationalities, ethnicities, sexual orientations, genders, religions, and political affiliations. We represent a movement that was born as a direct response to the forces of divisiveness during the Cold War, a breach in a time where others were building walls.
For 43 years, Pearson College students have left their home countries to study, live, and explore on the western coast of Canada. Coming from diverse backgrounds, our commonality is our shared belief in education as a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future.
Each spring, Pearson College community delivers music, songs, and stories from our homeland, direct to Victoria's footsteps here in McPherson Playhouse.
Our student body puts together each aspect of this production, from choreography and costumes to lighting, sound, stage management, and backstage.
This show truly represents the magic of Pearson College. We thank you for being here tonight.
Welcome to One World 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, our journey is starting. Soon we will be hearing the poem Arisen Woman from Afghanistan's daughter, Shala Gulistani.
We will then be inspired by We Are More, a song written and performed by Emily, one of our second-year students. It reflects a lesson that is learned through living in a UWC. Love is stronger than hate, and the things that unite us are much stronger than the things that divide us.
Following that, we'll have a passionate tradition of redemption song by student Kayla from Jamaica and Nathan from the Philippines.
But before we depart for this journey, we're going to South America, to Peru. Toro Mata is an Afro-Peruvian dance which mocks the stylized valses of European conquerors.
This song was developed as a reaction to the Peru conquest by the Spain during the early 20th century.
Are you prepared to go to Peru, Yvonne?
I am.
We hope you enjoy the rhythm of traditional Peruvian drums and the passion of the Ponde Ponde step in Toro Mata. Thank you.
The girl standing here before you this evening in her colorful traditional dress has come from the other side of this planet. My name is Shosholoza and I'm from Afghanistan. I consider myself lucky because I grew up in a family where I always felt loved and supported, but not everyone has this luck. This is a country where females' literacy rate is less than 25%. So I thought no one else can help us except us. 4 years ago, I started teaching a group of women how to read and write, and since then, I've been involved in workshops to raise awareness for women about their rights. Today, I want to share a piece of poetry that was inspired by Nadia Anjuman, a brave Afghan woman who was beaten to death in 2005 by her husband when she was only 25. I translated and adapted her poem in her honor. May her soul rest in peace. I dedicate this poem to her and all those brave women around the world who fight for justice, freedom, and their rights. Sing, I asked. Her long-suffering eyes stared at me. No desire to open my mouth, she said. What should I sing of? I, who am hated by life, no difference to the world whether I sing or not. Why should I talk of sweetness when I feel bitterness? Oh, the oppressor's fist knocked my mouth. My mouth was sealed ever since I was born. Oh, born for nothingness. To me, there's no difference to speak, to laugh, to die, to be. I have been silenced for too long, she said. But that melody, oh, that melody has always been in my heart, deep down. I've kept it deep down in my heart where nobody can see it, nobody can touch it, nobody can take it away from me. Every moment I whisper. Every moment I whisper that melody to remind myself of the day when I finally break this cage and fly from this solitude. I am not a weak poplar tree. I am not a weak poplar tree to be shaken by any wind. I am an Afghan woman. Indeed, she is a woman like spring, her hair full of blossom, her heart brightened with sunshine, her eyes clear, her feet full of energy, her hands filled with goodwill. She is an Afghan woman. She is the woman who has awoken, a woman who has arisen and has become a tempest through the ashes of her burned children. She has arisen from the rivulets of her brother's blood. Her burned and ruined villages has empowered her to fight injustice. Her nation's wrath has empowered her. She is the woman who has awoken. She has opened closed doors of ignorance. She has found her path and will never return. Oh, monsters roll. Take note. She is not who she was. She is the woman who has awoken, a woman who has broken the cage. She now knows how to fly. She has found her path and will never return. She has seen barefoot wandering and homeless children. She has seen henna-handed brides with mourning clothes. She has seen giant walls of prison swallow freedom in their ravenous stomach. She has learned the song of freedom in her last breath. Oh, cruel world, no longer regard her as weak and incapable. Her voice has mingled with thousands of Arisen women. Her fists has clenched with the fists of thousands of women. Oh, monsters rolled. Take note. She is not who she was. She is the woman who has awoken, a woman who has arisen. She has found her path and will never return.
Brick by brick, they built their walls, the darkness closing in. But we know bridges, we know walls, we know walls. We know bridges, 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 we know fail. Find hope in the darkness too. One voice still fighting keeps the fire from dying. There's strength in the powerful truth that we are more than lines drawn in the sand. We are more than the words that we don't understand. We are more than what our fathers did. We are more than all of it. We are more than all of it. There's courage in the way you open up your arms. There's beauty in the bravery of a kaleidoscope heart. One world united is stronger than all that's divided. You can't break love apart. And we are more than lines drawn in the sand. We are more than the words that we don't understand. We are more than what our fathers did. We are more than all of it. We are more than all of it. We are more than lines drawn in the sand. We are more than the words that we don't understand. We are more than what our fathers did. We are more than all of it.
So, this next song is called Redemption Song, and it is by Bob Marley. I'm Kayla from Jamaica, and this song is regarded as one of our classics. The song speaks of slavery and its repercussions, but it also speaks of redemption and hope for the future.
War pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pits, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. These songs of freedom. Redemption songs.
Thank you. In a short while, we'll be sitting back and listening to the superb harmonies of the Pearson singers with Hymn to Freedom.
This is a song written by Oscar Peterson. It was embraced as an anthem for the civil rights movement in the 60s, serving as a call for freedom and equality.
But first, we'll see a dance called Zombies. It portrays the struggle and the oppression faced by Nigerian people during the Civil War, where soldiers acted mindlessly like zombies.
The question is, why do they do it? And why have so many of the people dear to me had to suffer at their hands? I'm no psychiatrist. Who knows? Maybe it is just a game we play. So, my turn. How do I get back at these zombies? Zombie. Zombie. Zombie no go unless you tell him to go. Zombie no go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie no go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie no go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie, yeah. Zombie, oh zombie. Tell him to go straight. Joro, jaro, joro. No brain, no job, no sense. Joro, jaro, joro. Tell him to go kill. Joro, jaro, joro. No brain, no job, no sense. Joro, jaro, joro. Go and kill. Go and die. Go and quench. Sit on for rivers. Go and kill. Go and die. Go and burn. Oh, da. Attention. Quick march. Slow march. Left turn. Right turn. About turn. Double up. Salute. Open your heart. Stand at ease. fall in, fall out, fall down. Get ready, quick march, slow march. Left hand, right hand, about hand, double up, salute. Open your hat, stand at ease. Fall in, fall out, fall down. Get ready, halt. Some boys stand like this all day on the street corner until the army recruiter sees them and says, Order! Attention, quick march, slow march, left hand, right hand, about hand, double up, salute. Open your hat, stand at ease. Fall in, fall out, fall down. Get ready, quick march, slow march, left hand, right hand, about hand, double up, salute. Open your hat, stand at ease. Fall in, fall out, fall down. Get ready, halt. Zombie when I one way, a joro jara joro. Zombie when I one way, a joro jara joro. Ha! Yeah.
Hijab, the principle of modesty in Islam. It is both in dress and in character. It is both for males and females. But the hijab you know of is the scarf on my head. So I will tell you a bit more about the scarf on my head. I am a Hijabee, a Muslim woman who wears the hijab. You see, growing up, I discovered how the world sees me. Not me, but what I represented, who I represented. Being a Muslim, I was already fighting all the stereotypes that come with my religion. But being in a hijab, oh, how it made it worse. I was always randomly chosen at airports to be patted down, always asked why I chose to cover up when I didn't have to. Didn't I know? It was the 21st century, and women's rights had come a long way. They enjoy freedoms now. Free to dress however they wanted, free to dress however they wanted, free to be in whatever career. But am I not free to wear my hijab? So this poem goes to you, world, hoping to clear your confusions and wash away your misinterpretations. I am a Hijabee. I am not scared of my father, nor of any other man for that matter, and no one is forcing me to marry my cousin. No one is forcing me to be the woman you see. I am a Hijabee, and I am not oppressed. Please take a seat. I'm in no need of your liberation. Sit and watch my freedom, my own liberation. I am a Hijabee, and I am a feminist, a woman with her voice, knowledgeable about what matters. I'm not backward nor old-fashioned, and I have not been left behind. I am a Hijabee, and I have a damn good sense of fashion. It takes a lot of skill to find the right hijab to match your outfit. You do not need to see all of me to know that I am beautiful. I'm privileged to say that my worth is in my own eyes. I am a Hijabee, and yes, I come from a patriarchal society. But which society isn't? My society is not the reason why I put on my hijab. I have no obligation to explain to you that it is a part of who I am. I am a Hijabee, and there's nothing too complex about it. I love the color yellow, I hate mustard, I wear the hijab, and I enjoy comfortable silences. And I might be one of the loudest people you'll ever meet. So I refuse to fit into your boundaries and boxes. My apologies, because you have to put in effort into getting to know me. I am a Hijabee, and I'm standing here tall and proud, not belittled nor intimidated, because while you think my veils are chains dragging me down and down, you fail to understand that they are my wings soaring up and up. Oh, you who think that I am oppressed, I am a Hijabee. And when I look at myself, I see power, I see beauty, I see freedom, and so should you.
Hello. My name is Ali, and I'm from Damascus, Syria. Me and my friends are going to introduce a song for you on the behalf of the Syrian children. Atouna Toufouleh, children in Syria say. Atouna salam, they say. Children in Syria have their land burned, their peace disturbed, and their childhood stolen. At least 650 children were killed in the last year, 2016, and more than 850 children were recruited to fight in the conflict. Give us childhood, children in Syria say. Give us peace, they say. فينا نعيدكن بالعيد بنسألكن ليش ما في عنا لا عياد ولا زينة يا عالم أرضي محروقة أرضي حرية مسروقة زمانها عم تحلم عم تسأل الأيام وين الشمس الحلوة ورفوف الحمام يا عالم أرضي محروقة أرضي حرية مسروقة أرضي صغيرة مثلي صغيرة عطونا السلام عطونا الطفولة عطونا الطفولة عطونا الطفولة عطونا الطفولة عطونا 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 السلام À mon enfance, à mes 4 ans, à l'innocence, au beau jardin de mon pays qu'appellent les enfants. Je vous demande, vous prie de rendre toute l'innocence de mon enfance. De mon enfance, l'enfance, sauvez l'enfance, sauvez l'enfance, sauvez, sauvez, sauvez l'enfance. I am a child with something to say, please listen to me. I am a child who wants to play. Why don't you let me? My doors are waiting, my friends are praying, small hearts are begging, give us a chance. Give us a chance, a chance. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. Please, please, give us a chance. Atouna, Toufouleh. Atouna, Toufouleh. Atouna, Toufouleh. Atouna, Atouna, Atouna salam.
Are you saying that you want some fashion tips? Wait a moment.
Thank you, Ali.
Well, Esperanza, I heard from the audience that they want to look as cool and as high fashion as we do. And you know that today is their lucky day, right?
Why is that, Eric?
Because by the time we're done with you, you'll be ready for the catwalk in Paris. During the intermission, you can visit the Pearson College store and buy proper high-end fashion clothing.
There is a Pearson College cap, a Pearson College toque, a Pearson College hoodie, and some Pearson College sweatpants. There's even a bag and a cookbook. All right, let's see the cookbook. All right, so my personal favorite recipe right here, as you can see.
Canadian pancakes with extra maple syrup.
No, I was actually thinking of the Norwegian fish soup, but...
I'm flattered.
Eric, people might be wondering what we do at Pearson when we're not studying the IB.
Well, apart from performing and studying, Pearson College students participate in global community engagement and local. But we also participate in activities ranging from diving to yoga, pottery to wilderness. And let's not forget our Thursday fitness activity. So as you go for a break, don't forget to check out our One World Expo.
This is an opportunity in the lobby you do not want to miss out on.
But before that, we'll have a Pearson College classic, Ukrainian dance.
Enjoy.
kingasanza kandi ntigipfe
Thank you to Julie and Ariel with their Rwandan piece for welcoming us into the second act with this lesson of happiness and hospitality.
Merci Julie et Avril de nous amener au son de l'amitié et d'hospitalité de la danse rwandaise au deuxième acte de ce spectacle. Maintenant, s'il vous plaît, dans cet esprit d'hospitalité et d'amitié, accueillons ensemble sur scène Désirée Migras, notre présidente et directrice du collège.
And now, please join us in the same spirit of friendship and welcome in receiving Desiree McGraw, our president and head of college, to the stage.
Thank you, Yvonne, et merci, Esperanza. Bienvenue à vous tous et à vous toutes. A warm welcome to all of you, our distinguished guests, in particular the parents and families of our amazing students, our alumni, some of whom have come here today from across the country, as far away as New Zealand. Amazing, our volunteers, and of course our host families who open their hearts and their homes to our students year-round. It is such an honor, really, to share this stage with these talented young people, these amazing performers who have taken us on a whirlwind cultural tour from Afghanistan to Ukraine through music, dance, and spoken word. On behalf of all of us, I would also like to acknowledge that the city of Victoria and its surrounding area lie within the territories of various straits and Coast Salish peoples, including Esquimalt, Songhees, and Wasanich. I love that the meaning of Wasanich is emerging people. What a perfect description of our incredible students. Appropriately, today's performance started with Mi'kmaq Honor Song, a traditional chant originally arranged by Canadian composer Lydia Adams and performed by the entire One World cast. You'll hear a little bit later about reconciliation, and that's because Pearson College has stepped up to the call for action issued by Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We feel that as a boarding school, a residential school, founded on promoting diversity and intercultural understanding, we have a particular responsibility to promoting reconciliation with our First Nations. Yes. We do. This is my second One World, and I have to say, it just keeps getting better and better every time. One World embodies every characteristic of Pearson College for the 160 students who participate in every aspect of the production. On stage, behind the scenes, or in front of house, it is collaborative, educational, experiential, diverse, and above all, fun. I want to thank and acknowledge the production team headed by Libby Mason and all of the Pearson staff and volunteers who make this event possible. And since this is the last show of the year, I'm going to take a moment to name them. I'll ask you to withhold your applause until the very end. Music directors Paul Favor and Teodora Georgieva, dance director Adriana Martinez Freer, event coordinator Deanna Cuthbert, expo coordinator Julia Norman, donor and VIP relations Laura Milligan and Chris Geeter, executive sponsor Dan Hurley, communications and marketing Brian Geary, graphic designer Berenice Sanders, costume coordinators Kim Martin, Becky Harriman, and Leonie Wheeler. Congratulations and thank you to all of you for making this show possible. Victoria and many island communities support Pearson College in so many different ways, not least of which through the community members who volunteer their time and their talent to serve on our board of directors, and I just will name a few from the Victoria area. We have, of course, our chairman, Tony McCown, Gloria Metzger, Chuck Burkett, and Michael Dingle, who just give countless volunteer hours to supporting the college, so we are in your debt. Thank you to you. Yes. Pearson College is proud to call Victoria area our home. For more than 40 years, our students have volunteered and fulfilled their service commitments throughout this community. This is indeed our base, but our outlook is truly global. We are one of 17 United World Colleges and growing across the globe. We are 60,000 alumni strong, of which 4,000 come from Pearson College. Our students come from across Canada and around the world to live, learn, and grow together. They experience different perspectives, celebrate diverse cultural and religious backgrounds. They learn to be respectful, resourceful, compassionate, collaborative, and committed to the UWC mission, which is to make education a force for uniting peoples, cultures, and nations to create a more peaceful and sustainable future. What could be more important than that? And what could be more important than educating, engaging, and empowering the next generation of leaders? These are the young people who will soon be the leaders and change makers in their respective communities and countries. The high quality of this show might lead one to think that Pearson College is a performing arts school. And while we are very pleased with this perception, the reality is that the college offers a rigorous and transformational educational experience, one that engages the whole person. We engage our students through study, so engaging their heads, through experience, so they're engaging their hands, as well as through service, so engaging their hearts. With that in mind, I'd like to direct your attention to a new feature of One World this year, our student-driven One World Expo here in the lobby of the Playhouse. Please take a moment, if you haven't already had the chance during intermission, to learn more about the college and speak to our students about their experiences at the school and in the community. This is the first year for our expo, and we'd love to hear what you think about it. Pearson College demands so very much of our students: academic rigor, a commitment to working together in a cross-cultural setting, and learning to lead with grit, grace, and good humor through initiative and often through adversity. These were notable traits of our namesake and Nobel Peace Laureate, Lester B. Pearson. This year, we celebrate not only the 60th anniversary of Mr. Pearson receiving the Nobel Peace Prize, but also the 120th anniversary of his birth. So it's a very special year indeed, and stay tuned for more as we celebrate this year. I think it's especially important to note in these uncertain times that one of Mr. Pearson's greatest accomplishments, and this was 50 years ago in Canada's centennial 1967, one of his greatest accomplishments was to introduce major reforms to our immigration policy designed to introduce more fairness and certainty in welcoming newcomers, so welcoming them rather than vilifying them. This year, as it has been throughout our 40-year history, the vast majority of our students, a full 90%, are on scholarship. They are attending the college on scholarship. And it is thanks to people like you who help make this possible. These scholarships offer our students, many of whom come from very challenging political and economic circumstances, some of whom are refugees, and most of whom carry the hopes and dreams of their families on their young shoulders. These scholarships makes it possible for these young people to attend the college. And we invite you, if you haven't already done so, to look in your program. There's an envelope. We encourage you to continue to contribute and also to feel free to purchase any of the merchandise outside. This all goes directly to the college and supporting our mission. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your interest in Pearson United World College. Thank you for being with us today to applaud our amazing students from around the world. Whether this is your first or your 21st One World production, I thank you sincerely for supporting and enjoying this annual production. And now, on with the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Desiree. Our next act will be the Pearson College Orchestra, who, as you can tell, are turning as I speak. The Pearson College Orchestra is an informal activity led by our students Benny from China and Carly from Norway. Enjoy.
Dear audience, what you just heard was the Pearson College Orchestra performing a Norwegian and a Chinese piece. The Norwegian piece is called Til ungdommen, which translates to the youth, and is by Otto Mortensen and Nordahl Grieg. The piece was performed in the Cathedral of Oslo after the 2011 Norway terror attacks. The Chinese piece, which is called Liangzhou, which translates to Butterfly Lover, is by Chen Gong and He Chunhao. The piece is a Chinese love story about defying the social norm of marriage and fighting for the freedom of marrying whoever you want.
The next act is also from China, Zhou Chang Wan. This is a dance that represents fishermen on a homebound boat during the sunset. This dance not only has students from China, but also students from more than 10 countries. And I bet you love this dance from the costumes to the sound of music.
Enjoy.
Thank you. many students like myself, home is several miles away.
Home is the place we could return to during special times of the year, but cannot while we are studying at Pearson.
And that's why home, when provided by our generous host families, are the formative part of Pearson experience.
Today, we want to recognize the tireless efforts of a group of committed individuals or incomparable host families who consistently go above and beyond in order to make us and our international students feel at home. We would like to thank all our past and present host families for providing a warm and inclusive place for us to stay during project weeks, cast weeks, holidays, and even weekends throughout the year. My experiences with host families have been absolutely wonderful, and I couldn't be more grateful for having the chance to share who I am with them. So we thank you. Hosting a teenage student, and especially one from a different country, can have its challenges. At the beginning, most of the people may have similar concerns.
Oh, will the student like our family?
Do I need to learn to cook different food?
What if something goes wrong? Apart from missing our family members and friends, we also miss food. And you know my favorite food is chapati. I only eat chapati when I'm with my host family. Once more, I would like to thank our host families because you've stepped out of your comfort zone to provide for us this unique and gratifying experience. You may be unsure of what to expect, but you took the leap anyway. We thank you so much, and let's give a round of applause to our past and present host families. For you truly represent the enormous journey of Pearson. And our next act is Superstition, brought to us by Pearson Jazz Band.
Superstition was originally performed by Stevie Wonder, and it was chosen because of the liveliness brought by every single instrument involved. So come with us down memory lane as we experience the funk of the 70s combined with a good rock and roll guitar. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Writings on the wall, very superstitious. Ladder's about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke a looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, the good things in your past. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way.
Very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of your problems. Do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Keep me going strong. You don't have to save me. Sad is my song.
When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer.
Superstition ain't the way.
Very superstitious. Nothing make mother say. Very superstitious. The devil's on his way. 13-month-old baby
the way.
My name is Rebecca. I am from the Comox Nation, but have lived in Vancouver for my entire life.
Tonchi. My name is Annie, and I am Métis from Manitoba.
My name is Kunaksuk. We call our country Greenland Garasit Nunat. My people are Garasit.
I am Matilda Pinkson. I was born in Nunavut. I am not Indigenous, but I'm Nunami too, a part of the land.
Yate, She'e, Taylor Francisco Yunashe, Bilagana Nishle, Bilagana Bashachin, Nakatlichini Dashache, Aro Hashlishni Dashanella. Hello, my name is Taylor Francisco. I am Caucasian, born for Caucasian. My maternal grandfather is Black, and my paternal grandfather is Mud Clan from the Navajo tribe. It started in grade 3 when a boy made me cry. Why, may you ask? Because I am First Nations. I didn't like the way he made me feel, like I should be guilty and embarrassed for the way I was born. I didn't realize until that moment that being Native was not like being white.
A young woman, at peace with the land, mingled with a man who worked for the Northwest Company. 2 different worlds, 2 different cultures, 2 different languages somehow became one. I am the product of this. I represent the colonizers and the colonized, a confusing mix which often leads people to ask, "Oh, so what's your percentage?" while questioning my whiteness. Which reminds me that we still have this idea of colonization engraved in our minds, looking at indigeneity as the amount of indigenous blood you have boiling in your veins. But to me, being indigenous is not about race.
I am a Garak, but when the word comes, 3 things could still come to mind. 1, Garak could still be used as a shame and a swearing word, Garasua. 2, real Garak. Yes, even though we are Garasit, we have a Gararivik definition of someone who is behind like an ape. 3, myself. But even though Garak could still be used as that, we stand here together.
I grew up learning about the Inuit cultures through schools and festivals. The North, full of strength and beauty. I feel alive when I'm home, but I've seen the darker side, the side that no one wants to see. When Inuit adults stand around Northmart with nowhere else to go to. There was no assembly for my former classmate from elementary school when he killed himself. Everyone ignored the hidden discrimination in my school.
So when you look at me and see only the white girl, erasing all the history you still refuse to acknowledge, the inner brown girl is screaming. Every time you call my people drunken Indians, all I see is my great-great-grandmother walking hundreds of miles with a gun to her head, begging them to just let her stop. The only reply that she ever got was a deafening shot in the distance. With every "that's in the past," all I see is all my brothers and sisters in Standing Rock, fighting for clean water, and I can't help but to think that we have been fighting for way too long. There are many things that you wouldn't know about us. You wouldn't know that my chichia was only able to have a few years' worth of education, and her husband only a few weeks' worth. You wouldn't know that I had 2 family members die at residential school and that my papa went to one. And you wouldn't know that my nana lost all rights to being a white woman because she married a Native man in 1960. But you also wouldn't know that my chichia set up safe houses on reserves, and her husband was the first Native man to own a sailboat on the West Coast, and he taught himself how to read and write. I do not live the typical Native life, but I am now proud to state who I am, because my family has taught me that your past does not dictate your future, and you can be whoever you want to be and stand proud of your heritage.
I am Indigenous, and my people face unique challenges. I have yet to see the land promised to my ancestors. I am the generation that has never learned to speak Ojibwe or Michif. My wish is that we realize that Canada is a nation built on the backs of Indigenous peoples, and that we can work towards reconciliation.
Garachid family, light and dark, different shades of pride-colored houses, together inside despite the snowstorms outside.
Poverty, racism, and drugs haunt the North. This must end. What can I do? I can advocate these issues, tell the world is happening. I can promote the appreciation of different cultures of people around the world. We must stand up and be allies.
So don't tell me it's in the past, when every time my heart beats, I can feel the strength of my ancestors. When so many people died for my chance to stand in this very spot. Because we can't just get over it.
And we will not be quiet.
Thank you to our Indigenous group that meet weekly. That was an honest and heartfelt spoken word.
Pearson College actively supports efforts towards Canada's reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and is in the process of integrating Indigenous knowledge into our program. It is important to build a nation-to-nation relationship with Indigenous peoples based on respect and recognition of rights.
We invite all of you to take a stand on this issue and stand next to Indigenous peoples to ensure that we all participate in the reconciliation.
Our next act comes to you all the way from Israel. Hora is a traditional folk dance that originates from close to the East Mediterranean Sea. It is performed at celebrations such as weddings and holidays.
Hey, Esperanza, shouldn't you get backstage?
Yes, I'm in this act.
Later, we'll take you all the way to South Africa to experience Gumboot, an expression of resistance to the oppression under apartheid. Nelson Mandela described the song Shosholoza as a song that compares the struggles under apartheid to the motion of an oncoming train. But first, enjoy Hora.
עוד לא בניתי כפר, עוד לא מצאתי מים באמצע המדבר, עוד לא ציירתי פרח, עוד לא גיליתי איך תוביל אותי הדרך ולאן אני הולך. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי, עוד לא אמרתי די, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי. שתלתי דשא, עוד לא הקמתי עיר, עוד לא נתתי כרם על כל גבעות הגיר, עוד לא הכל עשיתי ממש במו ידיי, עוד לא הכל ניסיתי, עוד לא אהבתי די. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי, עוד לא אמרתי די, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי. עוד לא הקמתי שבט, עוד לא חיברתי שיר, עוד לא ירד לי שלג באמצע הקציר, אני עוד לא כתבתי את זיכרונותיי, עוד לא בניתי לי את בית חלומותיי. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי, עוד לא אמרתי די, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי. ואף על פי שאת פה ואת כל כך יפה, ממך אני בורח כמו ממגפה, עוד יש הרבה דברים שרציתי לעשות, את בטח תסלחי לי גם בשנה הזאת. תביני עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי, עוד לא אמרתי די, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי. עוד לא אהבתי די הרוח והשמש על פניי,
My name is Thomas Bambara, and I'm from Burkina Faso.
My name is Charles Olivier, and I'm from Quebec. Today we're going to present you a piece written by my friend Thomas. It is called L'Afrique. L'Afrique est la terre des terres.
La terre mère.
Terre nourricière.
Terre glorifiée par mes vers. J'écris spécialement en vers parce qu'elle appartient à notre univers. Elle associe en effet unité et verdure. En un mot, elle est extraordinaire.
Elle est, selon la science, la première terre qui naquit, qui a donné naissance à la première science, les mathématiques. Elle a en plus hébergé des hommes charismatiques. Je vous parle de Léopold Sédar Senghor, de Thomas Sankara et enfin de Nelson Mandela. Ces leaders qui, d'une façon ou d'une autre, ont bouleversé le monde par leur persévérance, de toute évidence, on débouche sur la conclusion qu'elle est la terre de l'intelligence, de la patience et des sciences.
L'Afrique est en effet renommée au monde pour sa grandiose diversité. Répandue en cité, sa population est repartie en ethnicité. Je me garderai cependant de les citer, vu son infinité. Mais hésiter de les reciter ne signifie en aucun cas les mépriser, puisque c'est excité de fierté que ce texte, je l'ai gratté. Collaborant les uns les autres comme un seul corps, c'est sur cette voie que nous deviendrons forts. Certains la décrivent comme un mendiant assis sur une chaise en or. Laissez-moi vous dire que sous un certain angle de vue, ils n'ont pas tort. C'est vrai, on est pauvre, mais nos terres sont une immense productivité et qualité. Nos sols sont une immense quantité et utilité. Notre végétation est d'une immense beauté et attractivité. Nos relations interethniques sont d'une immense simplicité, fluidité et paisibilité.
Je crois bien qu'elle avoisine l'asymptote circulaire de la perfection. Elle traverse malheureusement une situation précaire. Elle est présentement en pleurs. En effet, une partie de sa population transpire la peur. Il fait tellement chaud qu'elle en a perdu la notion de l'heure. Elle traverse en effet une situation précaire qu'elle ne faisait pas face naguère. Je vous parle des conflits, de sa situation sociale et des guerres.
Il y a les mouvements maléfiques. Je vous parle de Boko Haram et de l'État islamique qui prônent la religion islamique afin de perpétrer des crimes sataniques. Ils sèment trop de vacarme, conduisant à un amalgame total. Et quand je pense que l'Organisation internationale de la paix se permet de rester calme,
il y a enfin la pauvreté. Chaque jour, elle ne fait que s'empirer. Chaque jour, elle ne fait que nous maltraiter. Chaque jour, on ne fait que s'endetter. Par-ci, par-là, par ces traités dont les fonds ne sont jamais destinés aux intéressés.
L'Afrique, terre des terres, terre mère, terre fière, terre nourricière. Je termine ce slam en jetant un regard sur le futur. Je fais peut-être intervenir l'espoir, car il y a toujours un brin d'espoir. Il faut tout simplement y croire. L'Afrique demeurera pour toujours un territoire mûr, et même pourquoi pas un jour, les États-Unis d'Afrique, EUA, plus puissantes et plus dominantes que les États-Unis d'Amérique, USA. Mais comme le dit le vieux assis sous le baobab, chaque chose a son temps, chaque temps a sa chose. Laissons donc le temps au temps de faire son temps. C'est donc fier d'être noir, avec le cœur nourri par l'espoir, que j'associe ma voix à celle de Don Charles pour dire que la prochaine migration, elle sera en Afrique, j'en suis certain. L'Afrique, terre des terres, terre mère, terre fière, terre nourricière. Mais pourquoi donc se taire?
Shosholoza,
My name is Kirsten, and I'm a second-year student from Newfoundland and Labrador. Tonight, I'd like to share a poem I wrote about my experience at Pearson. They say home is where the heart is. Home to me is more than just a metaphor for love. It is love and support and the birthplace of dreams that may never be written down, but will always be shared among those hearts spread out across cities and oceans and time. Time we once had brush against our wandering fingertips, in a place where our minds were free to drift towards creativity, imagination, and hope. Hope passed down to us by our second years and third years and 33rd years, sentiments that survived generations, growing from tiny seeds into an internationally spread forest of the passion for change. The passion to change terrorism in Nice, terrorism in Belgium, Orlando, Pakistan, civil war in South Sudan, and the bloody knives ISIS continues to wield in our world. Somebody has to be the peacemakers in a broken down society where our neighborhoods are turning into war zones, typhoons, airstrikes, open fire. Our lives are being snuffed out and stolen. Boko Haram, Israel is burning, Trump train, election 2016, lock her up, long live the king. What are we doing if we are not hearing? We are fearing as the very ground beneath us trembles with racism and death and hate. But it's not just the fight for human rights, it's the fear of disease. Zika virus, MCR1, the detriment of infection. I can't breathe. So we listen. Listen to the staggered breaths of international, intercultural collaboration, mediation, our ambition. Pearson brings us together to tear apart the wound makers and the lawbreakers, where love is the higher law and home is the soft rush of the sea. There's so much room for growth in such a tiny bubbled community. No, we are much more than people who live together day to day. We are a family, 43 generations of brothers and sisters, not blood-born but created, weaved together with education, a force to unite, they say. Education, hope, and that passion for change. Lester B. Pearson once asked, how can there be peace if we do not understand each other? And how can this be if we do not know each other? Little did he know he would inspire over 4,000 changemakers from over 150 different countries to shake hands before and after the football game and look past ethnicity. Because it doesn't matter what color your roommate is. What matters is the conversation you had after your sunset hike with only the stars left to guide you home, and the memory of that home, and that family. 2 years is all it takes. Living, laughing, loving, learning, crying, consoling, creating. Home is a place you share with the people you love and welcome the people you would hate with open hearts and open minds. And through this I've learned, Pearson is my home, and these people are my family. One by one, we are ordinary people doing ordinary things. But together we are strong, sewing back together ripped dreams, one stitch at a time, one city at a time, one world at a time. So let us join hearts and hands and let the world know we are a global family. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Unfortunately, our time with you is coming to a close. But first, we would like to thank everyone who helped make One World become possible.
Our backstage crew, lighting and sound,
stage managers and dance directors,
costume and makeup teams,
adult directors, camera crew who have been filming the whole show so you can experience One World again and again through a little YouTube magic.
And of course, you, our audience, who are now part of Pearson Experience.
As part of our experience and our community, we hope you share our values of compassion, idealism, integrity, and understanding.
As tonight ends, and we leave this shared space of love and peace, we move on into a world where not everyone holds these values. But the UWC and Pearson College movement is not only continued by its students and alum,
but also by the community who support us, you.
Shukran.
Tak.
Muchas gracias.
Merci. Thank you.
Jump, jump, wayo. Jump, jump, wayo. Jump, jump, wayo. Show the world that they can flex like we.